Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Greg. Welcome to the channel. Greg.thunderwizard.com if you'd like a 9 world rune reading or a thunder astrology reading. And today I'm going to be talking about the Kama houses in Vedic astrology. And these are houses 7, 11, and 3. And Kama basically means desire. So this is our desire for love, happiness, partnership, marriage. Um, it's the pleasure of the senses, so it represents our sexuality as well. And basically the houses of where we want to have fun. That's one of the aspects of those houses of what they mean. They mean other things as well. But we're talking about the Kama desires. So the seventh house represents the spouse, the marriage partner. The 11th house represents the money gained and how you spend it. And the third house really represents the hobbies, the socializing, and basically your vital energy as well, and your willpower as well. So I'm going to go through all the signs, and I got my paper here so I don't get all confused with the opposite projection of the camera. And I'm going to start with Aries. So with Aries, their seventh house represents their marriage partner. Also, what I've discovered about Vedic astrology is you want to look where your moon sign is as well, and look at the seventh house from your moon. That also represents your marriage partner, your spouse as well. So you can get a little more detail about your partner. And let's go through these. When it comes to Aries, their spouse is represented by Libra. So Libra really brings that balancing kind of energy within a partner. This really helps to balance out the energy of an Aries person. This person is all about interaction with relationships with people, wants a nice, fair exchange of energy. Whereas Aries in general is more of a self-focused kind of a person, and giving orders with people, and really competitive with people, and wanting to be number one. Libra really brings that even-keeled kind of energy to the person. When it comes to the way they spend their money and stuff, they got Aquarius over here. So Aquarius is also kind of like Libra, bringing that energy of sharing. So this can bring that energy of wanting to spend money. I'll buy the dinners on me. If they're with a group of friends, they maybe want to spend all the money. They want to buy everybody their meal. Um, Also, it could bring about, it really brings about that energy of service towards other people. So they might want to be spending their money towards those kind of things, where they're kind of helping other people as well. Being that they're like the exact opposite, they're focused on themselves. When it comes to having fun, though, they might want to, share the love of their money. When it comes to their third house, they got Gemini over here, representing their socializing. So this really, they got a lot of stimulation with their mentality. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, which is the intellect. So they're very much into socializing, social gatherings. Gemini is very mutable, so they really like they could be into all kinds of different social places to hang out, whatever, the movie theater, outdoors, events, any kind of events. They're really into all kinds of different things, and that mutable really brings that energy too. And they just really want to really get away from their self-focused leadership quality. Gemini really brings about that energy of fun, the curiosity to go out and go anywhere, explore, go out and have fun all over the place. When it comes to Taurus, we got Taurus. Their seventh house is Scorpio. Yep, we got Scorpio. Their seventh house is Scorpio. So the Scorpio spouse is really someone who's very expressive emotionally. They could really bring out their feelings. No matter what it is, if they're angry or if they're happy or whatever, they're really expressing themselves. And they're pretty much, that's who they are, being fixed. That's what the spouse will represent for a Taurus kind of a person, for a Taurus person. When it comes to the Taurus and their 11th house, they got Pisces over here. Pisces could really bring about that attraction to foreign things, wanting to spend money on whatever, I don't know, antiques or different kinds of foreign cultures, stuff like that, or traveling to foreign places. That's where that energy could come with the Taurus in their 11th house. When it comes to their third house, they got Cancer. Cancer is in their third house, their hobbies, their vital energy. So they got a lot of vital energy over here when it comes to, they're going out and socializing and talking. And they bring about that energy of emotions towards people. So when they're out, talking to people, they really are concerned and want to get to know people on a deep level. This is that nurturing kind of energy that they got. They're very active as well with their energy. And let's go move over to Gemini. Gemini's 7th house is going to be Sagittarius. So their spouse is really could bring about that energy of philosophy or spirituality, expressing that. I'm getting all uncomfortable over here. Yeah, and they're very passionate about whatever it is they're into, philosophizing, talking about whatever spirituality or different cultures. This also is, this can be a spouse that's interested in foreign travel as well. 9th house is all about that, about traveling as well. And where am I? Their 11th house is Aries. Aries, the way they spend their money. So they're very adventurous with their money, with spending their money as well. They're very much wanting to have a good time. And where am I? Okay, yeah. So yeah, they're very, they can be very focused on, we want to go out and enjoy ourselves, and we're going to go somewhere. Very exploring, adventurous. This brings about that ability to really want to have that leadership quality when it comes to let's go here, let's go there. When it comes to their third house, they got Leo. Leo is their third house. I'm losing my place over here. Yeah, so Leo represents their socializing, their vital energy. So this is another thing that really brings that leadership quality as well to them. Leos are very fixed with their energy. They want to feel in charge. When it comes to their socializing, they really enjoy the spotlight. With Gemini, they're very talkative as it is. Leo brings about that energy of wanting to be the center of attention, wanting to express exactly who they are, not holding back. And they're very passionate about it, expressing about letting people know who they are. So moving over to Cancer. Cancer's 7th house is going to be Capricorn. So this could bring about a spouse that can be more mature than them. It could even be just even physically older than them, since Capricorn's ruled by Saturn. It brings about that maturity. It brings about more of a patient kind of a person. Someone who's a more dry in the emotions more than a Cancer. Cancer's more emotional, more, they got that water. Their emotions are, could be turbulent at times, but Capricorn spouse really brings that stability. It really supports them. They got the earth element. Capricorn is earth. Water, Cancer is water. The water sits on the earth, And, Cancer doesn't want to be too clingy to the earth, even though the earth is supporting them. That's the symbol of the Cancer, the crab with the pinchers, clinging onto things, not wanting to let go. But, the Capricorn really brings that good support to them. When it comes to their 11th house, they got Taurus. Taurus is their 11th house. So Taurus really brings about their ability to really save money. They're really good at saving money. And, they can be very planned out about exactly what they want to spend their money on. They're really, because they got that sense of security with Taurus being in the house of gains, how they spend their money, how they get their money. They can be very planned out. If you're a Cancer and you're not like that, you should really start doing that. You got that energy within you to do that, to be very stable with your money and hold on to it and spend it on exactly what you want and not overspend, you know. When it comes to their third house, their vital energy, their socializing, we got Virgo. Virgo is their represents their socializing. So they can be very focused on one person when they're talking to them. You know what I mean? They can fix their energy on one person and really have a desire to really know somebody, really connect emotionally to a person. Being that Virgo is that single ray of Mercury that's really can focus, it really makes somebody feel like they're being listened to, paid attention to. And Virgo's all about that service, and Cancer's, it's all about that nurturing energy. So they got good energy right here when it comes to that. Virgo's also a hardworking kind of an energy as well. So their vital energy is very good. They can use that earth energy to really keep them stable as well. And, they're already very energetic, being movable as well. Let's move over to Leo. Leo, their seventh house is going to be Aquarius. Aquarius over here. So Leo's very much, the center of attention, the leader, the king of the jungle, the lion. Over here we got their spouse being Aquarius. This is more of someone who's a part of a team, someone who's more thinking about other people, bringing that energy to a Leo person about, wanting to think about other people. And, Leo can be more of the ordering people around, it really represents the sun. They're ruled by the sun, which is all about authority, being in a position of authority. Aquarius, when they're in a position of authority, they're really thinking about other people and wanting to help other people out. So they bring that energy to a Leo. When it comes to their 11th house, they got Gemini. They got Gemini in their 11th house, the way they spend their money. What else am I thinking? Their financial gains. So Gemini really brings about that Mercury energy. So their intellect, they're really thinking about how to get money. They can have a lot of different kinds of occupations. They could have a lot of various forms of gaining money through a Leo person. And how they spend their money too. When they're out having fun, they could really go out and spend money, all over the place. Because Gemini is all about it's got that mutable energy, so they're really going out and being really adventurous with their money, so that can be good. When it comes to their third house, they got Libra. Libra really represents their I think I'm okay. Yeah. Thinking of other things. When it comes to their third house, their socializing. So when it really brings about that energy to really be open and stop being the king of the jungle and ordering people around. They got this energy of even exchange of energy with people, and Leos can be very expressive emotionally, so this really helps them to balance that when it comes to socializing. And this vital energy too is very energetic. They got this movable energy. They got the air stimulating their mentality. So that's some good energy there. Let's go over to Virgo. We got Virgo. Virgo's seventh house is going to be Pisces. So that represents their spouse, their partner. Got the sun over here shining on me, which is nice. So Virgos, Virgos are pretty sensitive as it is, even though they're earth signs, but they got mutable energy right here. When it comes to their spouse, so they got a very sensitive spouse as well. Being Pisces and water, it's the sign of Jupiter. It's a sign of deep spirituality, really connecting inward with their own spirituality. And, this is like two very sensitive people being together. It can work, though. It can really work. Virgo's earth, though. A very strong Virgo is a stable kind of a person, They can still have problems physically as well, being this is the house of diseases, but it is an earth sign, and it's Virgo being very focused, Mercury, that Mercury ray. So, they're very hardworking too as well. The Pisces person can really bring out the emotions in a Virgo, who's very too focused on their intellect, very caught up in their intellect and hardworking. The Pisces person can open them up to their emotions, to spirituality, to philosophy, that kind of stuff. It could also bring about that need to go travel, foreign places, and they can bring about that ability to want to be alone too. Like the two of them could want to be, let's go somewhere, but let's go somewhere where we could just be, one on one. Let's go up in the mountains and chill. Find a quiet corner in the restaurant, where we can just chill and talk and, stuff like that. Being isolated, that's what the Piscean energy brings to a Virgo. Their 11th house, Virgos, is Cancer, and this is their ability, financial gains and stuff like that. So they got that watery Cancer energy. They're very, their emotions are attached to how they gain money in their life. It could bring about servicing kind of an energy, working in the medical field, hotel, helping people like in that kind of way, which Virgos are all about service for people. They could bring about that ability to share their financial money in that way of, taking care of people, taking care of the spouse. That's the kind of, there's that emotional connection to how they spend their money. They want to feel good about helping other people out when they spend their money. And when it comes to their vital energy, they're socializing. They got their third house is Scorpio. So Scorpio is the water energy as well. It's Mars. So they can be very expressive about who they are as well in socializing environments. And their vital energy, they got a lot of vital energy in them, Virgos, with this Scorpio energy. Their willpower is very strong. The third house is all about willpower as well. Scorpio can be, it could really bring about that agitated kind of energy within them. And Virgos, they get physically affected by having those emotions going a little crazy. So, that's one of those things that they have. So it's important for them to be grounded, to bring about that earth element within them. Moving over to Libra. Libra's 7th house is going to be up here. They got Aries. So, Libras are all about, relationships with people. Balancing, having a balanced energy within them. So they could get off balance with that being too much socializing or whatever. Their spouse is more of the Aries person, more of the focused on the self kind of a person. And, they can really help to balance out the Libra energy. Let them know, stop thinking about other people, start focusing on yourself, find some comfort within yourself, That's what the Aries person can bring for the Libra person. And where are we? Their 11th house is Leo. Their ability to gain financial gains and how they spend their money. So they got this energy of Leo. This is very much the sun energy. They can be in an authoritative, supervising kind of position within their jobs to gain money. And they can really that's how they can gain money, is having that leadership quality and being an authority figure. And the way they spend their money is, they're thinking about themselves and the spouse, about how to spend money. We're going to go out and enjoy ourselves. Let's see, things purchased. Leo, what I'm thinking about Leo is the sun. I think they could just be very focused on them and the spouse, the way they spend their money. And they just they have that good leadership quality to gather money. That's how they gather their money. And let's see, when it comes to their third house, they got Sagittarius, representing their socializing. So their socializing can be very philosophical, very spiritual, both of those as well. They might enjoy those kind of socializing, those kind of gatherings where they're really philosophizing and talking about spirituality, talking about foreign cultures, stuff like that. They got a lot of energy within them too. Their vital energy is ruled by this fire energy, and they got that mutable energy too as well. So they got a lot of energy within them. Their willpower is very strong as well. Moving over to Scorpio. Scorpio, their opposite, their spouse is represented by Taurus up here, and Scorpio is very expressive, very their emotions are very expressive. They can be very secretive kind of people. They're very fixed in their ways. They can be very emotionally agitated at times, being ruled by Mars as well. And they got their spouses over here is Taurus. So Taurus is this earth sign that's bringing more stability to them. Like I was saying about the other ones, about the water and the earth. Scorpio's the water, Taurus is the earth. The earth is really stabilizing. It's holding up the river, And so they bring about that balancing energy into a Scorpio. They can help them balance out their emotions, help them to express their emotions. Taurus is really, it's really valuing the spouse, and so it really wants to hear them out and help them express their emotions, bring balance to them. When it comes to their 11th house, they got Virgo over here in their 11th house, the Scorpios. So they got their ability to gain financially is really it has to do with the intellect. They're very much thinking about how to gain money. It could be just in one area. It could be, they might not have multiple sources of income. They could be very fixed with that, about, wanting to stay in a certain job and what have you. The way they spend their money as well could be, just in one area. When they're going out and having fun, they like to do certain things, and maybe that's it. Being that Virgo's very focused on one thing at a time. That's the kind of energy that can be. Service, yeah. So we'll stay with that. When it comes to their third house, they got Capricorn. Capricorn really represents their socializing, their vital energy. So they got this Saturn energy when it comes to socializing. So, they can be very. It shows a lot of grounding. There's a grounding energy with what they believe in. What they believe in. Things like that. They can be very well organized with how they talk when it comes to socializing. There's a lot of patience in them as well. This vital energy too, they got a lot of long-lasting kind of energy. Being Saturn is very patient. Saturn is like, it's running the marathon. It's running the marathon as opposed to, running right away. So they got a lot of energy that they know how to spread out in socializing. Moving over to Sagittarius. Sagittarius, when it comes to Sagittarius, their spouse is represented by Gemini. So Sagittarius is very, it's expressing philosophy, spirituality, and, it wants to educate people with those areas. So they're very much like the teacher. They represent that spiritual teacher. So their spouse is over here being represented by Gemini. And Gemini is, it's the exact opposite. It's more of a fun. Geminis are more about having fun. They bring about that energy to a Sagittarius, stop teaching for a while, Let's go out and enjoy. That's what a Gemini is all about. Gemini is very curious, wants to go out and go everywhere. Go and enjoy all kinds of things. So that's what the balancing factor with Sagittarius, with Gemini representing the spouse. And when it comes to their 11th house, they got Libra. Libra over in their 11th house, wherever Libra is. So Libra brings about that ability to gain in a very balanced kind of a way for a Sagittarius. They're very much planned out with how they spend their money. They want to spend it on having fun, but they need this. They need their necessities, and their wants can be very balanced out when it comes to how they gather money and spend money. When it comes to their third house, they got Aquarius in their third house. They're socializing, so they're very much, they're like Sagittarius. They're very open to a gathering of people. They want to share their philosophy, spirituality, their education, that kind of stuff. They're very much open to sharing it. And their vital energy is ruled by Saturn as well. Even though they got a lot of energy with fire over here, Jupiter, they can bring about that patience within socializing with their vital energy. They could bring about that discipline, that strong willpower as well, being Saturn, and this is their third house. So let's move over to Capricorn. When it comes to Capricorn, their seventh house is Cancer. So Capricorns, are very dry, very disciplined, very hardworking. They can be very ruthless in leadership. They can be their emotions are not shown at all. Being ruled by Saturn, they can be very dry like that. So the spouse really represents the opposite of it's Cancer. Cancer's all about the emotions, expressing emotions, bringing about that nurturing kind of motherly energy to a Capricorn person. So maybe in their private time, the Capricorn is more open with their emotions with the spouse, and that really brings about that emotional balance within them, which is good. And their 11th house is ruled by Scorpio. Scorpio, their ability, their financial gains and how they spend money is ruled by Scorpio. So they got a lot of so there brings that emotional attachment to how they gain. Maybe privately there is where they're really having that emotional connection to wanting to gain money. They're very hardworking and hiding their emotions or not expressing their emotions in the workplace. But deep down inside, they really have that energy, and they're concerned about wanting to gain money. Being that this water sign, and that agitation, that anger. It could be building up inside with them, as far as gaining their financial gains. How they spend their money, though, that is it's very open, very open. Scorpio is very adventurous with spending money. It can also be secretive too. Scorpio really represents secretive kind of things. So these two can go out on or spend their money in a secretive way. Capricorn wants to hide. Let's not tell anybody what we're spending our money on. That kind of stuff. When it comes to their third house, they got Pisces. Pisces in their third house, and this is their socializing and their vital energy. So they got Pisces over there in their third house. So that's interesting, which is ruled by Jupiter. So that can be an area where they really show their personal side, their really their spirituality, their philosophy, how they feel about certain things, cultures, what have you. They can get a lot more personal about their lives with this Piscean energy, and that vital energy too is pretty strong with Pisces. It brings about that Jupiterian energy. So that's a balancing factor with Capricorn being ruled by Saturn. Saturn's constricting. They got the Pisces Jupiter energy that's expanding, wanting to expend their energy with people, to enjoy. Now we're going over to Aquarius. Aquarius and their opposite, their spouse, is represented by Leo. So again, it's like the opposite kind of thing. Aquarius is all about helping other people out, servicing people, making things better for a group of people, a team, making things better for the whole world. And then we got the spouse here that's represented by Leo. And Leo is more of a self-centered kind of a person. That could be negative, that could be positive. But, they're more focused on themselves. They represent the sun, the identity of a person, represents the kingly authority, giving out orders to people. So this really brings about that balancing factor to an Aquarius person. The Leo can really help them to focus on themselves, when they're on their own time, don't forget about yourself, and keeping yourself balanced within yourself, and getting the things that you want out of life, because they're really thinking about other people, helping other people out. When it comes to their 11th house, they got Sagittarius over here in their 11th house, their ability for financial gains. So that's interesting too. So Sagittarius can be financial gains they can gain from foreign places as well. Travel, being that Sagittarius is this 9th house, this represents travel. So they could gain financially with some kind of job associated with foreign travel, dealing with foreign people in any kind of a way. The way they expend their money has this connection to the fire energy. So this can be this could bring about a lot of adventurous kind of a energy to them in the way they want to spend their money with the spouse. So who knows what they want to do with that. Where are we? When it comes to their 3rd house, they got Aries over here in their 3rd house. So Aquarians have a really strong willpower when it comes to their 3rd house. That really represents their efforts. They really put a lot of effort into things. They got this fire energy. They got Mars. They got that ability to want to conquer. They're socializing as well. This really represents they're really interested in talking about who they are, being very passionate about it. And there's just a lot of energy with that. Letting people know who they are, and being very passionately expressive about it. So we go over to Pisces. Pisces, their opposite is the Virgo. And I was talking about them before. They got this very two sensitive signs together. And Pisces is all about this water, this getting to know themselves internally, spiritually. That isolated kind of energy within themselves. And then they got this Virgo over here, and Virgo is very self-centered as well. It's the inward energy of Mercury, but they got more of that intellectual kind of energy within them. So they might be a little more, let's say, street smart, more aware of the outer world, whereas Pisces is more wanting to be more isolated, more inward within themselves. So Virgo can help with that. Getting to know the world, being more educated with the outer world. Virgo's more service orientated too, as well. So they're very much more interactive with people. Pisces can still be very interactive with people as well. But they bring that energy. They bring that earth energy too. They bring that stability to them. Where Pisces can be very emotionally sensitive. Virgos can too as well. I mean, these two signs are both very sensitive signs. But a strong Virgo has that earth energy within them, stability. Strong Pisces has a lot of deep spirituality, access to outer dimensions. So they really balance each other out in those kind of senses. When it comes to Pisces, 11th house, their gains, they got Capricorn over here. So they can be very hardworking in their desire to gain money. So they can put aside that emotional energy and really stay focused when it comes to wanting to get money, gather money. They got this energy right here. And when it comes to spending money too, they can be very well planned out and not overspend. And that's what that Saturn energy brings about, that organization, how they spend their money. so they can be very good with holding on to their money. When it comes to Pisces third house, they got Taurus over here. Taurus, and this really represents their hobbies, their socializing. So they really put, they're very isolated Pisces kind of people, but they can find that value in socializing with people through this Taurus sign, and that can give them a good sense of security, make them think a little differently about socializing with people, make them really like socializing. Taurus is really values the socializing, being that they're in that third house of socializing, and that willpower too of Pisces is very they got that fixed sign of Taurus. It's very strong. It's when they want to go after something, they really charge towards it. The bull of Taurus is really bringing that energy to them, and that they got a lot of that hidden vital energy within them with that Taurus sign. Taurus is very open with people. If someone tries to mess with that Taurus energy, though, that bull comes out, and they're very much going to get what they want. They're not going to let anybody stop them. So those are the Kama houses. Hope I did good on those. I didn't have much time to study on these, but I was kind of going through it in the moment. So that's just a basic general rundown of the signs and those. And if anybody would like the Thunder Astrology readings or 9 World Rune reading, just go to greg.thunderwizard.com. And I hope you guys have a good day, night, evening. Peace.